Most people who start a YouTube channel quit within the first year, not because they do not have anything valuable to say, because they are playing the wrong game. Most of the people who quit are experienced professionals, people who spent decades being held accountable to real business results: revenue, margins, growth, return on investment. Then they start a YouTube channel, and suddenly they abandon all of that. Now they are tracking views and subscribers like those numbers mean something by themselves. Vanity metrics. The same metrics they would have rejected in any other business context. That is not a content problem, it is a business discipline problem, and it is fixable. This video is about how YouTube actually works as a business tool for experienced professionals, not a content creator strategy, a business strategy. So let's go. When most people hear make money on YouTube, they think about one thing: AdSense. Views, watch hours, monetization thresholds, revenue per thousand. That model works, but usually it requires volume, a lot of views, consistent publishing, years of compounding, and even creators with large audiences often discover that ad revenue alone is not the business they imagined. So if that is the game, the math does not favor someone starting at 55. Not because it is impossible, because there is a better use of the time. Here is the shift. Stop asking how YouTube can pay you. Start asking how YouTube can help the right people find you. That is a different question, and it leads to a completely different channel strategy. One that actually connects to a business. One that you can measure in real terms. Measure it with business metrics: leads generated, conversations started, offers closed, revenue created. That is the scorecard. You do not need a big audience. You need the right audience. 100,000 subscribers who are casually interested in your topic can be worth less than 200 subscribers who have an urgent problem you know how to solve. Because urgency drives action. Casual interest does not. Think about what your experience actually represents. If you spent 25 years in corporate finance, you have a perspective on risk, capital allocation, and decision making that most people do not have. If you spent 20 years in operations or sales leadership, you have seen systems, teams, incentives, and execution fail in ways that cannot be learned from a book. That knowledge has value to a specific group of people, not to everyone, to the right people. YouTube's job is to connect you with those people, not to make you famous, to make you findable. Here's what YouTube does better than almost any other platform. It gives someone time with your thinking. A post tells someone what you believe. A 10-minute video shows them how you think. That is a completely different level of trust. By the time someone has watched 3 or 4 of your videos, they have already started to decide whether they trust your judgment. They know how you explain things. They know what you value. They feel like they understand how you think before you have ever spoken. That matters when you have an offer, because a sales call that starts from trust usually moves faster and has less friction than one that starts cold. YouTube pre-sells you, not with hype, with evidence. That is a business asset. And most people over 50 who have spent decades building expertise are sitting on a raw material for exactly this kind of content. They just have not packaged it yet. That is the real work. Here's where most YouTube channels built by experienced professionals fall apart. The content is good. The business is not there. Videos get views. Sometimes good views. But there is no clear next step. No offer. No path from viewer to lead to client. So the channel builds an audience, but not a business. The problem is not always the content. The problem is that there is no architecture behind the content. A YouTube channel is not a business, it is a front door. The business lives behind it. Before you worry about cameras, thumbnails, editing software, or posting schedules, answer one question. What is this channel supposed to do for my business? Is it supposed to generate consulting leads? Is it supposed to sell a course or a program? Is it supposed to build an email list that you market to directly? Whatever the answer is, the channel needs to be built around that purpose. Without that clarity, you are making content and hoping something happens. Hope is not a business model. Apply the same business discipline here that you would apply anywhere else. A lot of people get stuck on this question. If I give my best ideas away for free on YouTube, why would anyone pay me? It is a fair question. Here is the answer. People do not pay for information. Not anymore. There is more information available for free right now than any person could consume in a lifetime. What people pay for is implementation. They pay for structure. They pay for direction. They pay for someone to help them understand what to do first, what to skip, and what their specific situation actually requires. Free content helps someone understand the problem. A paid offer helps someone move through it. So the more clearly your free content explains the problem, the more obvious it becomes that your paid offer is the next step. Useful content does not cannibalize your offer. It creates demand for it. If someone watches your video and thinks, "This makes sense, I want help applying this to my situation," that is the conversion you are after. That is not a YouTube problem. That is a YouTube win. If I were starting a YouTube channel today, I would not begin by asking what I want to talk about. That question is too broad. I would ask a better question. What problem do I want to be known for solving? A topic gives you content. A problem gives you a business. Here is an example. Imagine someone who spent 30 years in corporate leadership and now wants to build an advisory or a consulting practice. A weak approach would be to create general leadership content, communication tips, productivity frameworks, managing difficult people. That content exists everywhere. The channel disappears into the noise. A stronger approach would focus on one painful problem. Founders who are scaling a team but still make every important decision themselves. Now the channel has a center. The videos can explain why delegation fails even for smart people. Why teams wait for permission instead of deciding. Why the founder becomes the bottleneck at exactly the moment the business needs speed. That content attracts a specific viewer, and it connects naturally to a consulting engagement, a workshop, or a group advisory program. The channel builds demand for the offer because it's speaking directly to the person who needs it. That is how YouTube feeds a business. Choose the problem first. The content follows from there. YouTube is one of the few major content platforms where what you publish today can still be discovered years from now. Because YouTube is a search engine. Every useful video you publish becomes another entry point into your world. Someone searches for help with a problem, your video comes up. They watch, they trust, they take the next step. That can happen long after the video was published. That is leverage. Most Instagram posts lose momentum quickly. Most LinkedIn posts do the same after a few days. A YouTube video can send you a lead 3 years after you published it. That is a fundamentally different kind of asset. And this is why experienced professionals should be careful about spreading themselves across every platform too soon. Depth beats breadth when your business depends on trust. A little energy on 10 platforms usually creates a lot of activity and very little compounding. Deep investment in one platform can create an asset. Go back to the ROI question. Where does the investment actually compound? For most experienced professionals, building a knowledge business, YouTube is one of the strongest places to start. YouTube will tell you things your instincts will not. If nobody clicks, the title or topic is not landing. If people click but leave quickly, The opening is not earning their attention. If people watch but do not take the next step, the call to action may not be connected tightly enough to the problem the video addressed. If the wrong people respond, the positioning may be too broad. None of that is failure, it is information. Use that information, and the channel, offer, and message all get sharper. Most people treat low views as a rejection. Smart people treat low views as a question. What is the market telling me that I have not figured out yet? That mindset makes the process sustainable because the goal is not to go viral. The goal is to build a channel that reliably connects you with people who have the problem you solve. Reliable beats viral every time. Do not try to become someone you're not. Someone over 50 starts a YouTube channel, watches a few successful creators, and starts mimicking their style. Faster cuts, more energy, more performance, and it feels wrong, because it is wrong. You're not a 30-year-old creator competing for attention in an entertainment feed. You're an experienced professional who has spent decades solving real problems. Your audience is not looking for entertainment, they are looking for clarity. They are looking for someone who can help them make sense of the problem and move forward. You do not need to be louder, you need to be clearer. Clear, calm, and useful will outlast energetic, performative, and hollow every single time. Your age is not a disadvantage on this platform. Your experience is the credibility signal that younger creators cannot fake. Use it. So let's bring this back. The smartest way to make money on YouTube after 50 is not to become a YouTuber. It is to use YouTube to build trust around a valuable problem. It is to connect that trust to a clear next step. It is to build a real business behind the content, instead of depending on the platform to pay you. Measure it like a business, not like a content creator chasing vanity metrics, leads, conversations, offers, revenue. That is the scorecard. If you do that, YouTube becomes one of the most powerful tools you have. Not because it makes you famous, because it makes you findable to the right people, at the right moment, with the right problem. That is the compounding that matters. If you're not sure what problem you should be building around, or whether your experience is positioned clearly enough to become a business, that is what the required life assessment is for. It will help you see what is clear, what is missing, and what kind of business your experience is actually pointing toward. The link is below. It takes about 10 minutes. If you're serious about building something with what you know, start there.